What's going on, guys? Welcome to the weekly live stream. I do this every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I've been a little bit late, like maybe 7 or so, but usually every single Wednesday night I do a live stream like this. This is the first live stream of 2023. And I don't want you guys spamming the chat. Every single person doesn't need to say it, but Happy New Year's to you guys. The last time I streamed, I did a New Year's Eve stream. So this is the first time I've been on here. This is the first time I've talked to you guys on live stream since, Saturday. What was Saturday night? So I'm here. We have a lot to discuss. If you've already watched my videos, you've seen my opinion on the Dana White controversy. We're going to talk about Dana White slapping his wife in a club in Mexico at 53 years old. We're going to talk about the recent fight cancellations. Guram Kutateladze versus Thiago Moises canceled. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Geoff Neal canceled. I did a video on that. And I also predicted what would happen in that video. I gave you guys a bunch of options, but the one that I said was most likely ended up happening. We can talk about that. We can talk about UFC 283 coming up, Glover Teixeira versus Jamahal Hill. And I'm sure there's other things I'm missing. I'm sure there's things people were asking me in the Discord about Ariel Helwani's response to the whole Dana White thing. And I think there's been some other fight cancellations that I can't think of right off the top of my head that have been super unfortunate. But the main two I already mentioned off the top. But again, guys, Happy New Year. It is January 4th, 2023. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me for this stream. Do me a favor, if you have not already liked the stream, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. I would appreciate all those things. 2023 is going to be a massive year for the channel. So do all those things for me. I would greatly appreciate your support. What is going on, Fries? Yes, the first live stream of 2023. Also, as always, if you come here and watch the stream every week, throw your questions in the chat. I will get to them here in a second. What's up, Mario? What's up, Anthony? Ann White has been removed from the UFC rankings. And also, listen, my first impression was the slap league jokes as well. They're not funny anymore, okay? They're not funny, and I don't mean that as in, like, oh, I'm offended by them. I mean, they're old now. The slap league jokes, not that I've seen anyone make them yet, but the slap league jokes are the equivalent to the New Year's Eve jokes where you say, see you next year, guys. See you next year. It's getting old. It's not funny anymore. So let's refrain from Dana White was promoting his slap league. Okay, let's refrain from that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. I want to get some of these comments. What is up, Bitsy? Appreciate you joining me. What's up, Jungle Mania? What's up, Frozen? What's up, MMA experts? Appreciate you stopping by. I really do. Appreciate the support. Dana White, John Jones, his wife. Okay. All right. So there we go. There we go. I saw Avatar. Did you? Yes, I did. I thought it was good. It wasn't anything particularly crazy special or anything along those lines. Also, in case you haven't seen it and you're a member, I dropped a members only video just talking about last year, future of the channel, stuff like that. It's about 14 minutes. It's on the channel. If you're a member, you can go watch it if you did not see it. But yeah, Avatar, I thought was visually appealing. I thought the story was decent. But it's, the way they acted towards like the little foster kid and whatnot, kind of like put me off a little bit. And the fact that the same thing just kept happening over and over and over and over again throughout the movie. The same trope just over again. Oh, the kids are going to get away from the bad guys. All of a sudden, the kids are captured again by the bad. It's just the same thing. I enjoyed it. It was fun. One thing I didn't like, I like to go see any movie that is in Dolby Digital, which is a theater that you may have, at your local theater, but it's like one theater at my local theater that has the great Dolby sound system in there. You had to watch it in 3D. I'm not a big fan of 3D glasses. I'm not a big fan of 3D in general. So that was kind of off-putting, but I still think it was a solid movie and I enjoyed it. Moving on, gang's here on time. Yes, the gang is here on time. I never saw the first Avatar. Well, there you go. You got to go see it. So Dana, what's next after you beat your wife? You know me, I don't make night. Okay. The Dana beating his wife jokes are just old in general. And I love shitting on Dana just as much as the next guy, okay? I said that in my video. Also, guys, Just a quick reminder, if you have not seen them yet, I did an entire dedicated video on Dana White slapping his wife in a club in Mexico at 53 on New Year's Eve. And I also just released a video today. I forgot what I even named it. Which UFC champions will lose their belt in 2023? And not only do I predict which champions lose their belt, but I matchmake for the entire year and tell you who I believe will be the champion at the end of the year. So it's just for fun. A lot of those are early predictions. Don't hold me to them 6 months down the lines, because a lot of times I'm making prediction based on fight results that we haven't even seen yet. So as we get more data, my predictions may change throughout the year. It's just a fun video to do to try to predict the champions at the end of the year. I know there's going to be somebody probably 6 months from now. You picked him in this video. What are you doing? But anyway, you get the point. Avatar 2 as long as 67 UFC pay-per-views. Dude, it was so long. Let's get this man to 50K. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Any movies you excited for? Off the top of my head, I'm really excited to see the new Mission Impossible, which comes out this summer. Outside of that, I can't think of anything that I'm like dying to see right now. I do want to go see, I have an AMC A-list, but a lot of times I'm not like perfect at going to see movies. I'm going to go see the new Puss in Boots probably. I'm going to go see Babylon. I'm going to go see, there's some, January and February are the worst months for movies. I'm going to go see that movie Knock at the Door or whatever the hell, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie or however you pronounce his name. I'm going to go see that. But movies that I'm super excited for, I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Black Phone is a pretty good movie. It's on Prime. I already saw it. It's all right. I didn't think it was great. I Stand with Dana. Okay. That's a little bit weird, but all right. We'll talk about that in a minute. MMA Joseph, let's go. Also, the younger son in the Avatar movie ruined it for me. He was so annoying. I agree 100%. And you had to wait 13 years for a sequel, and supposedly they're making some director's cut that's like 7 hours long. That is insane. Thoughts on the Lewis versus Spivak rebooking? Makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I hate that fight. I don't care about that fight. And that card at the Apex, I mean, are we ever going to stop putting on these garbage cards? I may outright skip that card. That card is so bad. It is so bad. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't care about the fight. Literally, I would rather do anything else than watch Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. But I guess it's kind of relevant to the division. I don't know. Lewis can always knock you out. Spivak's on the rise, but yeah. Did you see the Phil Baroni situation? Terrible. I did. I haven't read a lot about it. The most I know, and if somebody wants to fill me in the chat, you can fill me in. The most I know is supposedly he was arrested for beating his wife to death, or his girlfriend to death in Mexico. So it just seems like there's a common theme here. People connected to the UFC at one point or another like to beat their significant others in Mexico. Disgusting situation. Anybody that's willing to take away somebody else's life is a pretty disgusting human being, barring some extreme circumstances. Obviously, self-defense. There's other things, but you get the point. If you're willing to go out there and take away somebody's life, you are a despicable human being. And then on top of that, for it to be a man, a formerly trained fighter, beating a woman to death, you know, it's disgusting. It's atrocious. It's abhorrent. And for me, it's one of those situations where if this is true, and they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that it's true, somebody needs to beat this man to death. That's the way I feel. I mean, people need to stop getting away with shit like this. He's arrested in Mexico. Who knows what Mexico's going to do? I don't know Mexican law, but yeah, it sounds like a relatively fucked up situation, and I'm disgusted by it. I don't know a lot of the details. I almost don't want to know the details once I saw, you know, kind of what's the general consensus of the story. But all I can say is, if he is guilty of committing a crime, I hope that he's prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If he's innocent, I hope that he's found and set free. I hope the truth just comes out one way or another. Never got to see the first one in 3D, so I never watched. I'm weird like that. Makes sense. Notice only Jamahal Hill said anything in support of Dana. We're going to talk about that in a second. I think fighters secretly don't like him. Joey, did you see my Insta message saying if Usman is hurt, they should do Khamzat versus Leon and Colby versus Dustin, wait for Beneil for title? If you did, what are your thoughts on those matchups if Usman is out? I may or may not have seen it. I don't remember. I don't know, but I'll answer you here. I do believe Usman will fight at 286. If Usman is out, I want them to do Khamzat versus Leon and Colby versus Bilal. I have no desire to see Colby versus Dustin. Colby is going to beat Dustin up, take him down, and beat him up. I don't want to see it. Wait for Beneil for a title. If you did, what are your thoughts? And wait for Beneil for a title? Who's waiting for Beneil for a title? I think Beneil needs to get a title shot lightweight, if that's what you're saying. So there you go. That's my thoughts. The way you broke down the Henry BS Aljo fight, I thought you were fitting to say Aljo beats Henry. Well, I didn't, did I? I just seen your newest video. Do you think Gon doesn't get a title shot at all? I do not believe he will. But you never know. You never know. I meant Henry versus Aljo, though. That's what I read it as. I meant Henry versus Aljo. That's what you said. Henry BS versus Aljo fight. Oh, I see you just made the mistake. Yeah, Baroni's not getting out anytime soon. I hope not. Joey, don't forget me when you hit 100K subs. I will not. I will not. And what's going to be interesting, if that's ever possible, I'm going to do my best. That'd be crazy if I could achieve that in a couple years. But you'll see, I will be the same person on here, regardless of if I had 10 subscribers or 200,000 or 1 million subscribers. I'll be exactly the same. I ain't going to be no bitch. I'm going to say what I think regardless of what everyone thinks. Even if I get killed, everyone says this is the dumbest shit I ever heard. I'm still going to say it. Watch Rose versus Carla 2 or Lewis versus Spivak. I'd rather jump in a wood chipper. It's been reported that Dana's wife was complaining about the pay-per-view price. Okay, dude, homework. We get it. We get it. Dana White slapping his wife jokes. We get it, bro. We get it. We get it. All right, homework. We got it. Ha 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 ha. All right, man, enough. Yeah, bro, I thought every video all right, this message just gave me cancer. Yeah, bro, I'm assuming you're saying I did a video reaction on it. I went back and watched Baroni interviews, definitely bad vibes. I know who Phil Baroni is, but I never really paid attention to him too much. But I'll have to check that out. I'll go check it out after this stream or later tonight or something. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with him, but it seems like a common theme, ex-UFC fighter this, ex-UFC fighter that, Stephan Bonner dead at however old he was, 45 or whatever he was. And then Phil Baroni now murdering his wife, and it's crazy. Buddy of mine hung out with him, sad he gave him scary vibes for sure. That's crazy. That is very crazy. I love how all these feminist men are condoning Dana White slapping him. Yes, she should not hit a woman, but you know how someone would react if you put your hands on them. Do not hit anyone. Okay, we'll get into it right now. We'll get into the Dana White thing. I have an entire video on this, okay? But I didn't go into every little crevice of the situation. But let me break it down like this. Dana White and his wife are both at fault here. Neither one should be hitting each other, okay? Dana White, obviously being the man, especially with his wife, should definitely not be slapping his wife at the club. He shouldn't be slapping his wife at all. But one of the most embarrassing things that I think come out of this, imagine being a multi-millionaire. At 53 years old, you're out at the club smacking your wife around. Also, there is the Dana White simps that are defending him and defending him and defending him and defending him. Let me just say this. I don't think Dana should have hit her at all because she is a woman. So therefore, obviously, he's going to be stronger. I do think it is different if just strictly based a random woman were to come up and attack you. Not just smack you, but if they were to attack you. But what is crazy to me is the way he kept going. There was 2 smacks there, and then there was a push as well, okay? There was 2. Dana was like going on the offense. After he smacked her the first time, he was putting the pressure on her and started moving forward, smacked her again. And I just think, honestly, it's just bad behavior. And I get it. Some people are going to blame it on the alcohol and say this or that. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I will, and I did this in my video, I will say Dana White has handled it the right way. Because when something like this happens, and then you sit there and say, well, this excuse or that excuse or this, I was drunk and I wasn't thinking, and just come out and say, look, if I was Dana White, I would handle it almost identically to the way he handled it. I would say, look, I accept full responsibility for it. This is terrible and it will never happen again. And I am disgusted with my behavior and I deserve all the criticism, which is basically what he said. Okay? But I will say that regardless of who you are, whether you're a woman or a man, you should not be putting your hands on someone else. But the people saying that here's an argument that I just think is a terrible argument. They're like, Dana White was defending himself. Do you think Dana White really thought he was going to be injured there? No, he was retaliating. What he was doing was retaliating. He wasn't happy with that. And don't get me wrong, let me put it this way. It would still be wrong, but if this was some random person that just came up and hit him out of nowhere and he hit him back, that's one thing. But for it to be your own wife, you're 53 years old, hanging out at a club, it's just overall a bad look. I do believe there should be some form of punishment here. I'm not calling for Dana White's head. And you guys know I already don't really like Dana. He says a lot of lies. I'm not, based off this incident, we're basing this off the current evidence that we have. I don't think Dana White should lose his job completely. I think there should be some form of punishment, whether it's monetary or whether it's he goes out of the limelight for a while. But the other aspect I want to put on this, and I meant to say this in my video as well, but sometimes I make a video and then I forget what I want to say. But when I saw this video and I saw this headline, the first time I saw it, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. Do you think you go 53 years without, hitting a woman, then all of a sudden when you turn 53, you start doing it? I will say I do not believe this is the first time it has happened, but there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. We have to operate in reality. My opinion on that is meaningless because I have no evidence to back it up. But it did not surprise me. I think they are both in the wrong. I think they both should be embarrassed. I think Dana White should be more embarrassed. And I think it's a worse look just because he attacked multiple times. Because I could, he still shouldn't make the excuse, but I could even buy the excuse, oh, she smacked me, which is my natural reaction to smack back, and I realize I shouldn't have done it. But what I will say here and what I said in my video, I'm not going to sit here and clutch my pearls and cry and whine for Dana White's wife. Listen, if she's willing to accept his apology, if she's willing to move on, if his family is willing to move on, I'm not going to sit here and clutch my pearls and say, this is the most atrocious thing I've ever seen. This is the most abhorrent thing I've ever seen, because there is far worse. And if his wife is willing to forgive him, if his kids are willing to forgive him for the way he acted, then who are we to sit here and just keep harping on it and harping on it and harping on it and harping on it? Dana White owned up to it. And again, I'm not some Dana White simp. There's a lot of Dana White simps out there defending something that Dana White himself is not defending. Dana White himself is not making excuses for it. And you have people making excuses for it. And we're going to get to the Jamahal Hill situation here in a minute. But if she's willing to accept his apology, if she's willing to move on, if she's willing to stay on vacation with him, if his kids are willing to, not, make a big stink about it, who are we? Who are we? That's a family matter. Unless she's being held there against her will, it's not my business. So I'm just going to move on from it, basically, because what am I going to sit here and say, oh, Dana did something that was morally wrong. At the end of the day, He took ownership for it. What are we going to do? I do believe there should be a punishment. And I do believe, and this is where we move on to a separate portion of this whole topic, like a subtopic of this topic. Kevin Iole, you were a straight up bitch and a lapdog. Brett Okamoto, straight up bitch and a lapdog. The articles you put out, and TMZ, the two guys on TMZ, you guys are straight bitches, okay? To just deep throat another man in the capacity that you guys did, you should be ashamed of yourself. The articles that Kevin Iole wrote for Yahoo was one of the most embarrassing things I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, if I was Kevin Iole, I would not be able to sleep at night with the way he wrote an article about Dana White and his wife's situation. The way Brett Okamoto from ESPN handled this, reprehensible, almost as embarrassing as what Dana White did. That's crazy. Let me actually pull it up. Dana White, Yahoo Sports. Because there's a couple lines from this article that Kevin Iole really needs to be embarrassed of. Okay. Let's see. Story continues. Let's see. There was a couple excerpts in here that I just thought was deeply disturbing. Deeply disturbing. White doesn't deserve all the credit for that, but he deserves... Hold on. All right, here we go. In 2013, in what was the most significant fight in UFC history, White put a lesbian woman, Liz Carmouche, into the main event. It's big news in any other sport when an athlete comes out as gay, but it's the run-of-the-mill in the UFC because it's so common. White doesn't deserve all the credit for that, but he does deserve some. He helped foster an environment in the UFC which helped remove the stigma. Let's just break that down for a second. Because somebody needs to smack Kevin Iole. I'm going to paraphrase what he said, essentially, but here's what Kevin Iole's saying in this long article. Let's forgive Dana White for smacking his wife because he lets lesbians fight in his organization. That's what Kevin Iole was doing there. He was trying to say, Dana has shown that he's morally superior at all these different turns. He let a lesbian fight in the main event of his sport. Oh my goodness. Let's forget about what does a lesbian fighting in the main event of a UFC card have anything to do with Dana White slapping his wife? And there's more. There's more to this. Nothing White says or no amount of money he throws at the issue will end it completely. This is an insidious problem in our culture. Sadly, isn't going away. But this incident in the club in Mexico involving White and his wife can make a difference to help reduce incidents of domestic violence as well as to educate others. Dana White, this is what Kevin Iole translation. Dana White slapped his wife so we could all learn about domestic violence. And there were some lines in here about Dana, donating money to different people and this and that. Kevin Iole is a straight up lapdog. And the title of the article is Dana White needs to briefly step away from the UFC to raise awareness about domestic violence. Dude, that's your title. That's the story. The story is Dana White slaps his wife in a club. That's the story. You're sugarcoating the headlines. This embarrassing article you put. I mean, literally, could you have Dana's dick any further down your throat, Kevin Iole? You should be embarrassed. And I understand to a point that these guys depend on personal relationships with Dana White for some of the access and interviews they get. I couldn't live my life like that. I couldn't imagine coming out here and defending this guy in the capacity that Kevin Iole and Brett Okamoto is no worse. Brett Okamoto, and I understand ESPN has a relationship with Dana White and the UFC, but for Brett Okamoto to only tweet the link, no words, does not say anything about it, and then to make the story about Dana White's apology instead of the actual incident itself. I mean, talk about You are basically Dana White's PR team. You are basically Dana White's PR team. That's what you are. You're a glorified publicist. And that's it. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. And one last thing, or two more things I want to discuss when discussing this topic, and then we're going to get back to answering questions. Jamahal Hill has embarrassed himself. Why are you coming out and defending a man who isn't even defending himself? Why are you defending a man that is not defending himself? Embarrassment, ass-kissing behavior, and it's just not a good look. If you want to say something like that, if you think something like that, keep it to yourself. Because Jamahal Hill came out and basically said, let me search it. I'll give you a direct quote. Dana White. Wonder if he deleted it by now. Okay, apparently I can't find it. That's annoying. But basically he defended Dana White and said he got hit first, blah, 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 blah. Embarrassing for Jamahal Hill. But of course, he's going to ask us. He just got a title shot. But I think it's embarrassing. The other thing I want to talk about, and I did discuss this in the full video as well. If you guys want to check out that full video, it is on the channel. You can find it at any point in time. I think this may be the end of the slap league. How are you going to start? I don't even want to call it a sports organization, but an organization that is reliant on slapping people and is reliant on the backing of Dana White in the UFC. You are about to launch in a couple weeks, and the president, the one that you're relying on for promotion, is smacking his wife. I believe this could be the end of Slap League. I believe this could be the end of Slap League. Wouldn't surprise me. I said that in my video. And I don't know. Let's see. Slap League. I don't know if any news has come out about it. Yeah, MMA Fighting's covering Slap League. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. I mean, you're supposed to be an MMA website. You're carrying water for Dana White, the president. Yeah, I don't see anything. I've heard rumblings that apparently certain things have been disappearing off of, certain websites and TV guides and stuff along those lines. I think it could be the end of Slap League. It could end the organization. One last thing I want to say is, does anyone believe that Dana White's not out there cheating on his wife? Does anyone remember the Colby Covington casino video? If you know, you know. Okay? Colby Covington, Dana White casino video. Dude's cheating on his wife on a daily basis. He's going to get away with this. He is going to get away with this scot-free unless there's some massive blowback, which there is not enough. So, again, I'm not going to sit here and clutch my pearls. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it for 2 hours. But what he did was wrong. And the Dana White dick suckers are the biggest embarrassment in this sport. The MMA media, who are promotional arms of Dana White, but they like to pretend that they're independent, are an embarrassment. Brett Okamoto, Kevin Iole, you should be embarrassed of yourself. And I'm sure there's plenty more, not just them. Even though I do understand their income's relying on Dana White. Dana White, in a way, indirectly, is their boss. You think Brett Okamoto can come out and criticize Dana? No, he can't. And I understand he's got a family to support. But the Kevin Iole article, and he works for Yahoo Sports, and I know he has a relationship with Dana, but talk about embarrassment, embarrassment, embarrassment. So that's pretty much it for the whole Dana White situation. I'm not going to discuss it for another 20 minutes. But guys, do me a favor. If you have not already, like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you would run up the likes on the stream. That's how it gets pushed out to more people. And that's how we grow the channel too. We grow the live streams. I eventually want to get to a point where we consistently have over 100 people in the live streams. So if you guys could do me that favor, scroll down, click the thumbs up button, end the story. Okay. No excuse, but I heard she cheated on him. Okay, well that's just made up stories. Stories like the one I wish sanctioned torture was legal for people who commit crimes like that. I know what you mean. I rewatched Aljo versus Petr Yan. I don't know how a judge gave round 1 to Aljo after getting knocked down twice and taken down once. I rewatched Aljo Petr 1, and I don't know how a judge gave the first fight. Yeah, I don't remember what I scored that one for. I am not condoning him hitting his wife, but I personally don't think he should be fired, nothing like that. I think there should be some type of punishment. I don't know what it is. I don't claim to have all the answers. Nye is overrated as a holiday. New Year's Eve is overrated as a holiday. That's why we stay home. Yeah, I'm always worried on New Year's Eve if I go out driving somewhere. I'm scared I'm going to get hit by a drunk driver or something along those lines. So, yeah, it's overrated for sure. People try to make it a man hitting a woman problem when it's really a body size problem. If only problem with him hitting her back is he shouldn't because he's stronger. Does a smaller guy get a pass? Dude, I don't know. I can't delve into the logistics of independent, situation by situation, men hitting women instances. They're both in the wrong. Dana hit her back. Dana is fortunate Disney is still hemorrhaging money and is selling ESPN. Are they selling ESPN? I wouldn't personally say someone is wrong for retaliating. Would be different if he beat her ass, but he just returned. He didn't return what was given. He did more than that. So, Joey, what did you think about the guy bitching on Twitter about the game being rescheduled after Damar Hamlin, or isn't it Damir Hamlin incident? I don't remember. Is it Damar? Yeah, it is Damar. I'm dumb. You're talking about Skip Bayless, I would assume. And if you followed this channel for any point in time, I'm sure there's some people in here who have followed the channel for a long period of time, and I've talked about this on countless live streams. Skip Bayless is the scum of the scum. He is clickbait of ESPN, essentially, or I think he works for Fox now. I don't even know. I don't follow him. The best thing we can do is to not discuss these people because they don't deserve the attention. Skip Bayless is a piece of shit. He's like 80 years old, doesn't shut his fucking mouth, deserves to be smacked, and we're talking about someone's life and he's worrying about a football game, and then he's covering for it after the fact. Just a terrible look, but doesn't surprise me. The guy's an outright piece of shit and has been for years, and he says controversial stuff just to get attention. So even if that's the case here, I still think it's outright disturbing. So there you go. Why is no one talking about his wife? We already did, dude. We already did. What's up, Alzar? Kevin must be getting a lot of shit. He's limited to the comments on his IG page. He's a handsome mofo, okay? Okay, somebody asked me about Ilya Taporia. I did see that. Somebody tagged me in on Twitter, I think. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Checking out the Ilya Taporia video. Dude comes up, pushes Ilya twice. Dude, Ilya just starts cold cocking him. Bad look for Ilya. But, I get it. I get it. Some dude comes up and pushes you. You think he's going to attack you. I'm always on the thing. If you think someone's going to hit you, hit them first. But it's just a bad look. Professional fighter. And then to follow up with like 8 strikes. It's just a bad look in general. Do you think Dana White ever sits down and reads some of the articles? I think he definitely does. Where is Casey Kenny? No idea. Who wins today, Marlon Moraes or Cody Garbrandt? I think they both get simultaneously KO'd. The Dana White video will be something that will be forgotten as soon as the first UFC event 2023 happens. It will slowly fade away. It's already fading away. It's already fading away, to be quite honest. And because those of you who have been complaining about water bottles, you'll be happy today. I got this instead. There we go. Didn't want it to, it's sweating, so I didn't want it to drip on me. But yeah, it's already slow. I mean, he benefited by the Bills game, the injury to that football player on Monday. Definitely benefited from that. Ivanov versus Tabora, thoughts and prediction. I'll go Tabora, but I could care less about that fight, to be honest. Would Prime TJ have any chance versus featherweight McGregor? No. I like your take on Dano's situation. I'm glad. How would Cejudo versus Aldo have gone? After seeing Aldo versus Merab, Cejudo would probably just win as a decision, would be my guess. Oh, Dana White's wife didn't cheat on him. Silly, I'm talking about Baroni's wife. Either way, you don't beat someone to death for that. That's not a death sentence. It's morally wrong. Joey, quick run through. How fast will Sandhagen shoot in on a takedown versus Vera? I don't think he will. I detest Dana, but I am tired of this narrative women can hit men and men can't hit back. I think sometimes that is wrong, especially with strangers. But this is a little bit of a different scenario. Did you happen to see Ariel Helwani comment on Dana White Gate? I seen like a couple minutes of it, but I didn't really see anything super notable. How does Kai Kara versus Pedro Munoz at 125 go? I would take Kai Kara. At this point, I would take Kai Kara. Munoz cutting down to 125. I don't know what that weight cut would do to him. And Kai Kara looks so good. At 135, I take Pedro Munoz all day. I take Munoz all day long at 135 because Kara France is too small. But I don't know what the weight cut would do to Pedro. F. Skip Bayless talking about the game. He should go the F. Are you talking about guys' hard stops for however long and worried about the effect of the season? Dude's a piece of shit. What do you expect? What do you expect? And guys, also, if you don't follow me on Twitter and you have Twitter, you need to go follow me on Twitter. You need to go follow. I just been calling everyone out left and right. I've been calling out Kevin Iole. I've been calling out Brett Okamoto. I called out MMA Fighting's what was it? Jose Young's. He deleted his tweet afterwards, I guess. I don't know if he got a lot of hate for that or not. I'm just calling out everyone. Every time I see some great injustice on Twitter, I'm calling it out. So if you guys don't follow me, you need to go follow me at MMA Joey C. And if you didn't watch my Bellator Ryzen video, I also got into it with Big John McCarthy. So you guys need to check that out as well. And I give my thoughts on all the latest news. I give my quick thoughts immediately. As soon as I see the news, before I can even make a video, I'll put out a tweet or so discussing it on Twitter. So you can follow me at Twitter and Instagram at MMA Joey C. So you guys are missing a lot of content if you don't follow me. It's been heating up recently. I am currently at 356 followers. So it's been growing. I remember when I had a goal for 200. I'm now almost at 400. So it's been doing good. I'm going to continue to put my thoughts out there whenever I can. Can you do some quick picks? Aljo, Sandhagen. I probably go Aljo. Ilya versus Volk. Aljo, Sean, Aljo. Boom. Aljo, I just don't trust Sandhagen's wrestling. Even in a rematch, Volk is too good, and Aljo's wrestling will be too much for Sean. The guy who pushed Ilya had it coming. That why you don't F with random people. You never know who they are. I do agree with you in that respect, but still, it was a little bit extreme. Again, I'm not clutching my pearls. I'm not going to cry about it. Also, guys, Jungle Mania, what's your Twitter? Jungle Mania? Is it Jungle Mania? I haven't seen it, and I don't... What is it? What's your Twitter? And I will follow you back right this instant. Just let me know. Okay. The guy who... Okay, read that. The London card in March is looking like it'll fall apart. It hasn't even been completely announced yet. So it's hard to say. Who's the one to get Cyril Gane out of the heavyweight championship, and how do they get him out of there? Who's the one to get Cyril Gane out of the heavyweight championship? I don't know what you mean. You're going to have to rephrase that. Who's the one to get him out of a heavyweight championship? How does Tony versus Barboza 2 at 55? Barboza probably wins. More people, especially those in the media, need to be called out more often. Your Twitter is funny, but on point. I appreciate you, Andy. Dude, I don't care. I'm not looking... Oh, okay. Dude's always supporting me. Always support me. Boom. Followed. You are followed back on Twitter, my friend. You were followed back. Done. Appreciate the support. You're always following me. You're always retweeting my stuff. You're always responding. I didn't even know I didn't follow you, to be honest. Because usually if I have someone that's always tweeting to me, if I check their Twitter and they have, and they at least post, then I follow them usually. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Yeah, I think Barboza wins. Tony's completely washed at this point. But yes, Andy, I'm glad you enjoyed the Twitter drama. The reason I enjoy calling people out on Twitter is because I'm not hiding behind an anonymous name. I'm not hiding behind an anonymous picture. I'm not a little egg picture on Twitter with 2 followers. I am calling people out. They can easily find me on my YouTube channel. They can find what I look like. They can talk all the shit they want about me. But I'm going to do it. I'm not a person who is this, there's a lot of pussies out there who like talking shit anonymously. I'm not one of those people. There's not a single person out there that I'm scared of, okay? And not that, on to talk shit online, you have to be some brave person. I'm not saying that at all. Okay? But the point is, I'm not even talking shit. I'm making relevant points, counterpoints to a lot of these idiots, what they're saying. And I just enjoy doing it. And I'm not doing it anonymously. So therefore, I feel better personally about doing it because they can find who I am. They can talk shit about me if they want. And I'm not some, egg picture hiding behind that, some random name. People can talk shit back to me if they need to. But I want to have constructive arguments. Everything I'm saying, it's not like I'm just going out of my way to talk shit to somebody, I complained about Rise and Bellator being on a tape delay and Big John McCarthy got butthurt. I called out Kevin Iole and Brett Okamoto for being lapdogs, What else do I got on there? I didn't really talk shit, but MMA Fighting was saying, check out our interviews with the Slap League. And I said, I'd rather jump into a wood chip or leg first. I talked shit about people who were given, I don't even want to say that, jiu-jitsu, Conor McGregor lackey attention. So it's not like I'm just talking shit to talk shit. I'm giving relevant points that we can have educated discussions on and people can happily respond and know who I am and have a discussion. So there you go. Where was I at? If Hamzat becomes double champ, does he surpass McGregor on drawability? Yes. I want Hamzat versus Shavkat. I read on the UFC and mistakes they have made holding key matchups for too long and it backfiring. I talked about it recently I did a Shavkat Hamzat video. It's happened time and time again, my friend. Follow me back on Insta. I want to see how many times you're going to comment, Casual MMA. Did Costa pull out of the Whitaker fight due to money or did he get hurt? He never agreed to it. And he never agreed to it. UFC announced it anyway. And so eventually they were hoping to come to a deal. They were not able to come to a deal. You need to get a gold check mark. What is the gold check mark? What is the gold check mark? How much? Hold on. Twitter Blue, right? It's $8. And it doesn't. Okay, rock you to the top of mentions and search. See half the ads. That's almost worth it. If it was like $5, I'd probably just buy it. But yeah, it's a blue check mark. It's not a gold check mark. I've seen gold check marks, but I don't know what they're for exactly. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to pay for Twitter. Okay, where are we at? A lot of people are sleeping on Emmett. I can see him sleeping out here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The world is full of keyboard warriors that there are. If you're talking shit, at least show your face. That's my thought process. If you're going to talk shit and heavily disrespect someone or tell them this or tell them that and constantly call them out, you need to at least not be anonymous. That's the way I see it. Also, the Dylan Dennis attention has to stop. I've been saying that for since I started the channel. The dude's a clown. Why are we even showing him attention? Only business accounts get the yellow one. Okay, that makes sense. So I would get a blue one then. What's good, Joey? What's up, MMA Locker Room? What's your New Year's resolution? I don't typically have New Year's resolutions. I just have goals that I always set and I'm always striving towards. But if I had to set one, honestly, and this is my goal every single year, spend more time with my family and friends doing the things that I enjoy. With life, a lot of the time, we get too busy. We get too busy, and we don't make time for other things. There's 24 hours in every day. What you make a priority will be a priority, So that's basically mine, because you never know. You never know when life's going to be over. You never know. So spending time with friends and family, doing fun things is always my goal. The more time with friends and family, the better, So there you go. But I also have like New Year's resolutions. I want to grow the channel to 20,000 subscribers this year. Stuff like that. But there's just goals that I always have. It's not necessarily because of New Year's, just because of a date change doesn't make me any more or less motivated to do the things that I want to do. Bitsy says he followed me on Twitter. If you don't, I will spam your timeline. Okay, Bitsy. Okay. Now I'm gonna start charging super chats for follows back on Twitter. Okay. Let's see. Does Bitsy even tweet? Bitsy, you don't even tweet. You don't even tweet, my friend. But I'll follow you back. You're making me follow someone who doesn't even tweet. What the hell? So. Do you remember who I am? I'm another active chat member whose name you love saying. I do. I do remember. What about you, Locker Room? What's your New Year's resolutions? What's your New Year's resolution? Let me know. If Josh Emmett wins, I'm switching to boxing. Who were you talking about? I don't even remember what I was talking about when you sent that message. Would Dylan be forced to fight eventually in Bellator? No. I don't believe he ever fights again. To be quite honest. So, that's the way I see it. Damn it. This thing is sweating like crazy. This is why I don't reuse these bottles, okay? This is why I like water bottles. They don't sweat as much. And this... Okay. Guys, keep the questions coming in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. If Josh Emmett wins, I'm going to be a little bit disturbed as well. It's one of those things where I thought he lost to Dan Ige, to be honest. I thought he lost to Calvin Kattar, to be honest. Neither one was necessarily a robbery, but I thought it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. It wasn't great. It wasn't good decisions, in my opinion. So, there you go. Let me see if there's any other news that I've missed that I haven't been paying attention to. Compromised networks coverage of Dana White. Francisco Trinaldo cut from the UFC. Mike Perry post alleged AJ McKee spent $100K on Bellator MMA. Yeah. I don't know. What do you enjoy outside of MMA? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I spend all my time watching MMA basically and doing this channel. But I enjoy watching movies. I enjoy going outside, going on hikes. I recently started playing disc golf, which I've been playing a lot of, and I've invested a lot of money into. And just spending time with my grandmother is the main thing. I try to go visit her every single day. So that's my entire life in a nutshell right there. Going on hikes with my dog, playing disc golf, MMA in the YouTube channel, spending time with my granny. Okay, there you go. That's my entire life of free time. Okay, where are we at? This isn't original, but interim belt should be silver. I agree. I'm with you. Anthony, thank you for the $2 super chat. Boys, send Joey money for the new UFC Timex watch. Yeah, guys, I need to go buy the new UFC memorabilia watch. Thank you, Anthony, for the $2 donation. I greatly appreciate you. As we get closer to the fight, who wins, Jamahal Hill or Glover Teixeira? I'm leaning Glover Teixeira, to be honest. I'm not Glover Teixeira. I'm leaning Jamahal Hill, to be honest. The more I think about it, the more I just think Glover's getting old. He's slowing down. He's coming off of a massive war against Yuri Prohaska. And that's it. So I'm leaning Jamahal Hill by KO. I'm leaning Jamahal Hill by KO. Let me see something real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Keep filling the chat with questions. I would greatly appreciate that. It's crazy. We're almost about to be back to fights. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So we're like a week away from fights. Interim belts are the worst. Yeah, I hate them. How much longer do you think Francis has before UFC takes his belt away? I think middle of February we will have a solution on what's going on with Francis. Middle of February, max. I think potentially in the next couple weeks we see a Francis Ngannou John Jones announcement. I'm picking Josh Emmett. His chin, his hood is good. He has ridiculous power, good cardio. Yair has bad cardio. I could see Emmett out wrestling Yair. Will John Jones ever come back, ever fight a heavyweight? Yes. Yes, he will. UFC 285, March. What do you do? Okay, read that. What do you do for a living? I've answered it so many times I can't answer it anymore. Do you see MMA fighters? Do you ever see MMA fighters boxer money? Making boxer money? Like head boxers? Probably not. Should we be worried the UFC has not officially announced Jones and Ngannou or Usman Leon too? Yes, we should. But hopefully we get that announcement soon, those announcements soon. Who do you have in the trilogy between Usman and Leon? I have Usman. I have Usman winning that one. So, and I just did a video. If you guys have not watched it yet, I encourage you to go watch it after the stream. I did a video, which UFC champions will lose their belt in 2023. It is a 26-minute video. I break down every single division. I break down every title fight that I believe will happen in 2023. And I discuss who I think will be the champion at the end of 2023 of each weight class. So there you go. Go check out that video after the stream. But we're going for longer. We usually go for about an hour, hour and a half. So who do you have in the trilogy? Read that. Scrolling through your videos, it looks like you got a good amount of views. Yeah, the channel's doing very well. The channel is doing very well. It may not seem like much when you're looking at channels that have, 100,000 subs, stuff like that. But the channel is doing very well. Mario, I'm very happy. There's not a video that I haven't been happy with the views with. I used to be excited to get 150 views. 150 views and I was pumped. I was like, oh yeah, the YouTube's really taking off. We're talking right now, the video I just released 4 hours ago is almost at 1,000 views. The Dana White video is at like 2,300 views. The Ryzen video, which I didn't expect to get a lot of traction on, 1,300 views. The lowest viewed video I had in a while was the Rob Yanez video, but I released it at like 3 a.m. That got over 1,000. We're looking back at the Apex video, 2,300. The Marlon Vera, Corey Sandhagen video, 4,100. So everything on the channel right now is over 1,000, for the last few weeks or so. I couldn't be happier. My channel is very small, and I'm very happy with the views we are getting. So thank you for noticing, Mario. This channel will continue to get good views. This channel will continue to grow. At least I will do my best to make that happen. John Jones at heavyweight is one of the most enticing storylines of all time. I feel like it's either going to dominate or lose one and retire. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Joey, let's say your wood chipper is broken. Would you rather do a full breakdown of power slap with Brendan Schaub or fight in power slap with Francis? I'd fight Francis in power slap, 100%. I'd fight him 6 times over. I'd fight Francis in MMA before I break down power slap with Brendan Schaub. I'd literally fight Francis 6 times over. So that's just the way I see it. I'm not hanging out with Brendan Schaub at all. So after the Dominic Reyes fight, if Jones stayed as defending light heavyweight belt, what do you think would have happened in his next couple fights? I think he would have won him. I think he would have beat Jan. I think he'd have beat Reyes in a rematch dominantly, and I think he would have beat Jan. And then who knows from there, maybe beat Erie. Jamahal Hill submits Glover. I could see a triangle choke from the bottom. No. Do you think Dana's story would have been much bigger if the tragedy had not happened Monday night? I don't know about much bigger, but it would have been bigger. It would have been bigger for sure. That definitely ran some cover for him, without a doubt. Don't you think Dana's story would have... Okay, read that. Imagine if Leon does it again. That'd be crazy. That would be absolute insanity. Phil Baroni, we already discussed that a little bit. Disturbing, if true. We'll see what happens. We'll see what more information comes out. So, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, supposedly beat his wife to death. Disgusting. You guys think I could outbox? Yes, you could. Yes, you could, President Mike, for sure. What is John Jones' future win or lose? What can you see in each scenario? If John Jones wins, he will defend the belt by the end of the year. If he loses, I think he'll fight another time. And if he loses that fight, he may retire. Derek Backin, I think I'm saying that right. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I greatly appreciate your donation. Joey, can we please get a New Year's scary story? Jeez Louise, put me on the spot for another scary story. Okay, so I was hanging out at a club in Mexico. I'm 53 years old, right? And I'm just grooving to the music. I'm 53 years old in a club in Mexico. It's New Year's Eve, okay? And me and my wife getting a little argument here, okay? She's mad at me. She reaches over to slap me with a nasty right hand, okay? I'm holding my drink in one hand. I'm drinking some raspberry juice. I'm holding my drink in my left hand. She throws a right-handed slap. I go up to block it. I block it, and my drink goes everywhere, right? My drink goes everywhere. She storms off. She leaves me in the club at 53 years old. And I'm like, whew, I dodged a bullet. If I got hit there, I don't know what I was liable to do. And then I'm like, okay, let's see, what are we going to do next? And then I look down. And what do I see? I see a big red stain all over my Venom Fight Kit t-shirt. I was absolutely disgusted. But that's not where it ends there. That's not where it ends, okay? So I hurry up. I run over to a local gas station and I buy a white beater. I pop it on. I drop my Venom gear off at the local dry cleaner to hope to get it clean. I'm grooving to the music, right? Then I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of here. And I'm like, oh, well, she left me and she took the car home. So now I got to walk back to the hotel. So I start walking back to the hotel and I'm looking over my shoulder and there's some guy following me. Some scary looking guy following me and he's got a knife in his hand. And I'm like, okay, I ain't worried about this guy. I'm going to whoop this guy's ass. I don't care if he's got a knife or not. And then I look down and I realize, oh no, I don't have my Venom gear on. I'm screwed. So I get scared to death. He's stalking me from alley to alley, street to street. And I eventually run for my life. And luckily I find sanctuary in the lobby of a hotel. And I never saw the guy again. Next day I went and picked up my Venom gear. It's perfectly clean from the dry cleaners. And there you go. That's the end of the scary story. Thank you for the $5 donation. I hope you got really spooked out by that one. Phil Baroni, we discussed it. We discussed it, my friend. Disgusting, atrocious. Hopefully, if he is guilty, he meets the most severe consequences. And it's just a sad overall story. Glover was legit getting out wrestled by Erie at some points. Brendan Schaub looks like he eats potato chips with a fork. I don't know about all that, but okay. Leon beats Usman again. The high elevation favored Usman now that it's Leon wins again. Okay, we'll see. That's one of those narratives that just keeps getting pushed over and over and over again. I don't know if it's actually true. I don't know if it is actually true. But we'll find out soon enough, hopefully. Amen, brother. Okay. Brandon is one of the most physiological or philosophical speakers of this generation. That he is. Who has a better chance, Usman or Izzy, to reclaim the title? Usman. If Usman Nurmagomedov came to the UFC and was thrown to Arman Tsarukyan right away, who would win? I'd probably go Nurmagomedov, honestly. But I don't know. I don't know. It'd be a tough fight to pick. I don't know why MMA Joey's so obsessed with Dana White's age of 53 years old. I'm not. I've never mentioned it outside of this stream. Not the raspberry juice, yeah. She's lucky she stormed off. All right? In all seriousness, it was pretty funny when you almost broke down the slap altercation like a fight replay. Yeah. But then I avoided it. I was like, yeet. I'm out of here. I was I'm not breaking this down from a technical point of view. What's up? Keep out. Thank you for coming to the stream. I greatly appreciate you. Guys, if you are in here right now and you have not liked this stream yet, we have 55 people in here. For some reason, we only have 27 likes. Like the stream. Like the stream. Like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it would mean the world to me. It would mean the world to me. I don't want to have to backhand you. So, like the stream, guys. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, I do these streams all the time. So, subscribe to the channel. I put out a bunch of videos. I'm going to be putting out a bunch of UFC 283 content in the next week or so. So, look forward to that. Putting out prediction videos for the next UFC fight card as well. Joey, can you tell us the story of how you met your fiance? Maybe another time. Maybe another time. It's not that all that a dramatic story. But maybe ask me another day. Ask me another day. Who do you think will be next in line for light heavyweight title outside of Yuri? I think Magomed Ankalaev will get another shot at the title in 2023. I break that down in my video as well. So, 4 UFC fighters, retired or active, you have as your bodyguard. I have no idea. I don't need a bodyguard. I wear Venom gear. Okay? So, would it be the majority striking match or would Usman outgrapple Sarukian? They're in 2 different weight classes. But I think Usman could outgrapple Sarukian. Yeah, he would. Especially with the size difference. I got Glover in that fight. If you could move to any other place besides U.S., besides Maryland, where would you pick? I don't know. It'd be a tough decision. Probably move somewhere warm, but I don't know where. You know, I'm a person that needs to do in-depth research before I would move somewhere. So, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I sleep in my championship Venom gear. The gloves are quite annoying, but if someone breaks in, I have to be ready. Yeah, I keep my Venom gear in a lock box on my nightstand that's fingerprint accessible. So if I hear someone in the middle of the night, throw in my fight kit, and I'm just ready to go, all right? I'm just ready to go. I got my Venom gear on. Got my Venom hat on. You know, I'm ready to go. I meant Usman Nurmagomedov, not Kamaru. Oh, I see. I'm dumb. You did ask the question about them both before. Would it be majority striking or would Usman I think Usman would outstrike Sarukian. I think Usman would outstrike Sarukian, but it'd be a close fight. There's not a guaranteed winner in that one. Would you buy an MMA Joey Venom shirt? Yeah, if you guys send me enough super chats. If somebody wants to, how much is it for a custom Venom? Let's see, a custom UFC fight kit, I guess. I don't know. That's what it's called. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The hoodie is $175. The jersey is $100. Yeah. So no, I'm not buying that. You can customize it down the middle though. Down the middle. It's $96.99. That's preposterous. That is outright preposterous. Would you read that Ricky Simone will be fighting for one title spot for one title spot by the end of the year. Tell me I'm lying. Do you mean he's fighting in a number 1 contender fight or he's fighting in a title fight? Either way, I think you're wrong because the division is too stacked. You got Petr Yan, you got Aljamain Sterling, you got Henry Cejudo, you got Sean O'Malley up there, you got Marlon Chitaveri, Corey Sandhagen. I don't think he's going to make it to a number 1 contender fight, nor do I think he's going to make it to a title shot. But Simone is very good and doesn't get enough respect. So it's possible, But if he does, I think it'll be another year and a half. The division's just too backlogged. But he could be one of those guys that could get a shot if there's like a last minute replacement. You know, he gets a big win, and then maybe there's an injury for a title fight and he jumps in, or injury for a number one contender fight, he jumps in. I mean, look at Roman Dolidze. Dude was unranked, and now he's basically in a number one contender fight. So I think that is super interesting and super possible, but unlikely nonetheless. How would Aljo versus Cheeto go? Aljo would out wrestle. I mean, Frank Yeager at an advanced age was out wrestling Cheeto, so Cheeto loses to Aljo, unfortunately. Who do you think is better grappler between Andre Muniz and Dolidze? I probably lean Muniz, but Dolidze looked incredible against Jack Hermanson. So that could be one of those fights that's just scrambles after scrambles after scrambles after scrambles. So I would love to see that matchup. I don't know why Brendan Allen's getting an Andre Muniz fight, to be honest. Disturbing. Ricky Simone doesn't break the top 3. I agree with you on that one. Which division do you like more, 135 or 55? I like 135. I think it's more skilled, and it's the deepest talent pool within the UFC. So I rock out with bantamweight all the way. How would you see Davison Figueroa at bantamweight? I don't think he'd be successful at bantamweight. I think the weight class is going to be too much for him. The skill level is going to be too much. But maybe the weight cut has been having a toll on him, and maybe he could do better without having to cut that weight. But I don't think it's super likely. I think he'd be like a top 10 guy, fringe top 10. That's my take on it. So, but you never know. But I don't think Figgy would be super successful at bantamweight. That's why I thought his threats to go to bantamweight were kind of embarrassing a little bit. Realistically, what do you think the UFC will do with Khamzat? They'll give him another fight at welterweight. He wins that fight and he makes weight. He fights for the title. It would not shock me if Usman was somehow out. They're giving Khamzat the title shot. Realistic. Okay, read that. How would you see Davison Figueroa? Read that. What's up, Joey? Just saw your live. YouTube sucks. I never get your notification. That's infuriating. I've heard that multiple times. That's a thing that goes around on YouTube. Nothing much, man. I hope you're good. I hope you're good, Billy. And thank you for joining. You can always watch the replay, but obviously it's not the same as the live. You think Khamzat can make weight? Yes. I mean, made it multiple times before. I think he can make it again. So, yeah, I think he will. I always get your notifications. I'm glad that you do. It's inevitable that Khamzat is welterweight champ. Maybe so. I mean, Khamzat just looks so good, is so aggressive, and yeah, I mean, the wrestling is amazing, and welterweight's wrestling heavy. So if he can stuff the takedowns and strike with some of these abhorrent strikers, he can inevitably win these fights. Look, guys, I'll tell you this, because we're gonna end the stream in a little bit. If we can get 50 likes on this stream, and I'll even let it go for like an hour afterwards, after I end the stream. If we can get 50 likes on this stream, I will do another live stream later. So if you want another live stream, like this stream. I'll jump on here at maybe like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, Bo Nickel will beat Chimaev via finish. Doubtful. Khamzat versus Bilal, who wins 3 rounds, 5 rounds. I think 5 rounds would favor Bilal, but I think Khamzat wins no matter what. I think he's a better striker, and I don't think Bilal is going to be able to grapple him, and I think even Khamzat could out-grapple Bilal. I'm so happy Khamzat missed weight versus Nate. I did not want to see that, even though my boy Tony got sacrificed. Agree, but Tony would have got sacrificed to Li Jingliang otherwise. What are your thoughts on Guram Moises cancellation? Sad. It's sad. That was a great fight. Guram Kutladze is an elite lightweight, in my opinion, even though he's not ranked. So it's unfortunate that it's not happening anymore. It's super unfortunate. That was a fight that I was really looking forward to. Honestly, happy. Yeah, I'm happy Tony didn't fight Li Jingliang as well. That would have been a brutal destruction. So, Well, all right, guys. I am going to get out of here. Listen, if we get 50 likes on this stream, I'll give it to an hour after the fact. If I check in an hour, we got 50 likes. I will jump on here for about 45 minutes, an hour later tonight. So like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I want to leave you guys on this though. Let's see. Is there anybody live? Let's go see who's live right now. So let's go see. Even if it's a random stream, let's go see who's live. I'm just looking for a random live stream right now that doesn't have a lot of watchers. Okay, this guy's. I'm trying to find a random live stream that doesn't have a lot of live viewers. Most of these ones I'm seeing already have a lot of live viewers. Yeah, and they're not on Facecam anyway. So it looks like, and there's no MMA live streams live right now because usually I like to send you guys there. Yeah, so it is what it is. Looks like it's going to be, ooh, that's creepy. It's going to be nothing. But yeah, guys, like the stream. Appreciate every single one of you. And I will talk to you guys later. Since I'm not sending you to another live stream, do me a favor, listen. I'm going to post a link for you. Go watch this video. Go like this video. I would greatly, 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 greatly appreciate it. This is the video I just put out today. Boom. Boom. Have you addressed Brendan Schaub stealing your take up on cross-promotional events? What do you mean he stole my take? Now I got to hear the opinion on this. I wonder if he saw my my tweet at Big John McCarthy. Wouldn't that be hilarious if he did? Let's go see what Brendan Schaub put out. I don't even know how to look up Brendan Schaub. I'm just searching his name. Oh, why you will never see UFC versus Bellator. Yeah, that's an hour stream. So he didn't steal my take, dude. He doesn't watch my channel. I don't think he watches MMA in general. So there you go. All right, guys. There you go. Go watch that video. Go comment on the video. Go like the video. I would greatly appreciate it. It's every champion that will lose their belt in 2023 predictions. And I break down how I think the entire division will play out throughout the course of 2023 with a bunch of, predictions for all early predictions for all those fights. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. I will talk to you later. Good night.